On February 24th, 2022, Russian President Vladimir Putin announced a special military operation in Ukraine. The world was stunned as Russia, a global superpower, invaded its smaller neighbor, Ukraine. 5 years into the conflict, the situation remains unresolved. Why did Russia invade Ukraine? And why has the conflict persisted for so long? In this video, we will explore 5 reasons why Russia invaded Ukraine. First reason is historical ties. Ukraine and Russia have significant cultural and historical ties dating back to the 9th century Slavic kingdom of Kievan Russian. However, Putin's repeated claims that they are historically identical are false. Russian rule in Ukraine, during both the Tsarist and Soviet periods, came to resemble that of an imperial power governing an unwilling colony. Second reason is Ukraine's secession from the Soviet Union. In 1991, 92% of Ukrainians voted to secede from the Soviet Union, ending Russian imperial rule. Political scientists and regional experts warned that the Russian-Ukrainian border would be a flashpoint due to internal divides and Russian desire to re-establish control over its wayward vassal. Third reason is Euromaidan movement. In late 2013, Ukrainians took to the streets to protest the authoritarian and pro-Russian tilt of incumbent President Viktor Yanukovych, forcing his resignation on February 22, 2014. This movement represented a threat not just to Russia's influence over Ukraine, but to the very survival of Putin's regime. Putin saw it as a Western-sponsored plot to undermine Russia itself. Fourth reason is fear of regime change. According to experts on Russia, Putin's fear of regime change in Russia drove his aggression towards Ukraine. He sees CIA agents behind every anti-Russian political movement and believes the West wants to subvert his regime the way they did in Ukraine. He sees Ukraine as a pro-Western model for Russians to emulate and a threat to the survival of his regime. Now coming towards the last reason, which is desire for neo-imperialism. Putin's longtime belief in the urgency of restoring Russia's greatness curdled into a neo-imperial desire to bring Ukraine back under direct Russian control. In July 2021, Putin published a 5,000-word essay arguing that Ukrainian nationalism was a fiction, the country was historically always part of Russia, and a pro-Western Ukraine posed an existential threat to the Russian nation. In conclusion, we can say that Russia's invasion of Ukraine was not about stopping a genocide or denazifying Ukraine, as Putin claimed. It was a calculated move to bring Ukraine back under Russian control, driven by historical ties, fear of regime change, and a desire for neo-imperialism. The conflict between Russia and Ukraine continues to this day, with the international community calling for a peaceful resolution. There are also some other reasons with Russia to justify its claim of invasion, and they might be right. It is regarding the involvement of NATO. But that video will be for another time. Thank you for watching.